All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Get ready. This summer, the Arena League Sports is on ASAP Network. Tune in live on either the Tiki Live or Roku app, as well as your smart home TV.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Well, good morning, and welcome to the All Sports All Plays Network. This is your boy Freddie Henderson. I'll be your host this morning. We got the usual. Ron, what's going on, brother?
Hey.
Hey, Ron is finally recovered from the Philadelphia 76ers. So that's why he decided to come on this morning.
I wake up crying every morning.
Hey, and then we got my brother Jeremy Green coming on this morning. What's going on, Jeremy?
How are you, my friend? Yourself. Oh, I'm an ESPN guy here in Asheville, North Carolina, and looking forward to doing a lot of stuff with you guys.
Yes, sir. Just like Jeremy said, just keep an eye out between the two. We got a partnership going. We're going to be doing a lot of collaborations, a lot of this, a lot of that. So just keep your eye out on that. Hey, man, we have a lot to talk about, a lot of things going on in the sports world. As you guys know, tomorrow starts the first game of the finals between the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics. I will say everybody that I've seen have the Golden State as favorites. But, hey, fellas, what do you guys believe? Do you guys think that Golden State should be the favorites, or do you guys think Boston pulled it off? Go with you, Jeremy.
I will be the first to tell you I think Boston's going to win this series, and I don't think it's going to be – I don't think it'll be 7 games.
Whoa.
I think they're going to take them out in 6.
Whoa.
But here's the thing about Boston. Everybody talks about how they can't play in close games, and that's true. The offense is weird and disjointed and ugly, but look at how they match up. You got the defensive player of the year on Steph. I guess Wiggins will be on Jason Tatum. Look, I love Luka Doncic. I do. Jason Tatum is a different animal with a 6'7" Andrew Wiggins guarding him. I just don't think this is the best matchup for Golden State. If I had been Steve Kerr or Steph, I'd have been praying to see Miami. Now you get Boston, and they could win it. I don't look for it.
So we got Jeremy. He's going up here from Boston. I'm going to tell you, he's the first person I've heard say they're going for the Boston Celtics. Ron, do you feel the same way, or are you going with your fellow Boston Celtics?
So first of all, when you saw that Golden State was favored, were you surprised, Freddie?
Me personally, yes, I was.
Interesting. So there is no way on God's green earth that Golden State should lose to Boston. This is a 10-year dynasty. They are tried, true, and tested. You talk about Marcus Smart, Jeremy. Do you forget that Golden State has a man by the name of Draymond Green?
Oh, I do.
Let's talk about a couple defensive players of the year. Tatum is going to get bottled up, and I love I feel like you just said he was better than Luka, and I'm gonna
No.
let that
He's
slide
not
for
better
me.
than Luka. He's a
Okay.
different matchup.
Okay, a different matchup. I'll accept that. But this man is leading the playoffs with turnovers. Jason Tatum, I hope you're listening. Get your ball control together, sir, because you're not going to be able to be as loose and free against the Golden State because they are ready to take your turnovers and go on a run. And Golden State is the king of third quarters. Oh, Celtics in 6? I honestly feel like it's going to be a Golden State gentleman's sweep in 5, and they have home court. Oracle's not what it used to be. However, I will be betting on Boston as the underdogs.
I might have a ticket that says plus 375 with Boston on the left side of it from
Exactly.
from a casino that's about an hour up the street from here.
Yeah, that money is just waiting there for the Boston upset, but I feel like Golden State should handle business. It shouldn't be close.
Now,
First off,
to what you said, I will agree. Jason Tatum is looser with a ball than a frat guy at a college bar. So I'm not going to dispute that in the least. And there are times, look, I have railed on this Boston team for the inconsistency, the god awful quarters. I mean, there was a point in the Miami series where through 4 games, series was tied. Boston had won like 13 of 16 quarters.
Exactly.
But then you look at the other 3, and they were minus like 90. They were getting housed in the quarters that they lost. I do still see that. And to your point with Draymond, I'm going to try to not go ridiculous coach speak here because I could be totally talking out of one side of my mouth and none of it making sense. My thought with Draymond is if you put Draymond on Jason Tatum, Robert Williams is going to eviscerate you. Not offensively.
Defensively.
There you go. I feel like if you look at this and go, we're going to put Tatum, we'll have Draymond on Tatum. Then I can't figure out what you're going to do with Robert Williams. It's not like they're going to sit him down. He was the guy that nobody talked about. He was the central piece of them beating Miami because he turned Bam Adebayo into a dude. I mean, that's a guy that's as talented as they come, and Robert Williams made him look like me.
this is where I stand on you guys. And before I say this, I want to let everybody know I hate this finals matchup. I hate it with passion. I hate it with everything, every breath in my body. Because I'm a Lakers fan. And I cannot root for the Boston Celtics. I cannot. It will my love for the purple and gold will not allow me to do it. And then Golden State Warriors. Y'all fans are so cocky. Your fans think y'all done something in this league. Y'all believe y'all are the standard. And I understand y'all went on a little run. And I understand that. But y'all haven't done a doggone thing yet. But y'all talk much talk as Laker fans and Boston Celtics fans that actually have the championships to back them up. So let me get that out the way. Number 2. The reason why I have the Boston Celtics winning is not because of their offense. See, it's about the defense. You have the defensive player of the year, Marcus Smart, who it is shown when they play against Steph Curry. Steph Curry don't have that great of game because Marcus Smart, he will chase after you. See, if you have one guy that's dedicated to run around screens, chase Steph around to stop him from getting those threes, but guess what? Hey, Steph not going to be as effective as he would be, because a lot of these guys in the NBA is not going to chase Steph around. I mean, hey, he's going to tire you out. They have a couple bodies that they can throw at him. They have Derek White that can chase out. I mean, they have guys that can chase out.
It sounds like Matthew Dellavedova Part 2.
So yeah, you need a guy that's going to chase him around. But I'm looking at guys like this that's going to be a factor for both sides. I'm looking at an Andrew Wiggins who needs to step up, who needs to be the guy that we've seen in the last series that's going to give you 18 to 20 a night. That's going to give a lot of pressure off of get a lot of the pressure off of Steph Curry, off of Klay Thompson, where those guys don't have to depend on those guys as much. You also on Boston side, I'm looking at Al Horford. Hey, we've seen Looney. Looney has stepped up these playoffs. He's been attacking the rebounds. He's been protecting the paint. They need a big man that's going to bang bodies with Looney, get those rebounds. I believe Al Horford going to make either him or Draymond come out the paint. So I'm looking at those two guys as going to be the key factor. We expect Jason Tatum to give us 25 a night. We expect Jalen Brown to do his thing. We expect Steph Clay to do those things, but it's about the others. So I got Boston. I'm going Boston in 7. Rob, don't laugh because I can't go against my Lake Show, man. Hey, I never root for Boston. Don't allow me to.
So I'll tell you a funny story. These two teams played twice in the regular season. Do you know what Steph and Clay's plus minus was in those two games?
It probably wasn't that good.
Steph was minus 15. Clay was minus 30.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't good against Boston when those two were on the floor. Now, they did win one of those two games. Clay did not play in the game they won. Yes, he was minus 30 in one game.
Was the one they lost home or away?
Golden State won in Boston. Boston won at Golden State.
Juicy.
And I think they're going to – and not only they beat them in Golden State, they housed them in Golden State.
Right.
And look, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I just look at the defensive matchups here because you got two bigs for Boston, Horford and Williams. If you're going to put Draymond on Tatum, one of those guys is going to become a problem because they're going to get some mixture of Kuminga, Wiggins, of which Wiggins has played well defensively. I just don't think he can guard a big like that. It's one thing to deal with Luka. He was always a reasonably decent on-ball defender. Where he gets kind of lost is when he gets off the ball, and he's got to keep his head in it for 24 seconds. Then he gets posted up by Al Horford, and now you're in a complete mismatch.
Accurate.
I feel like if getting, let's say, 16 minutes into the first game, look who makes the first adjustment. Whoever bends their will first is who's going to lose this. If Boston decides we have to play small because they're just running up and down the floor on us, Boston's in trouble. If Boston can impose their will down low and make them do what they don't want to do, which is play too big, I think Golden State's in trouble.
I want to say one thing. I want to say this to Al Horford. Al Horford, you got lucky, sir. Sunday, you got lucky because if that was Steph Curry, what Jimmy Butler did to you, that pull-up three like that, you guys would be going home right now.
He looked like me at a skating rink in about 1999. I got wheels on my feet. I don't know how to go, and I sure as hell don't know how to stop.
Yeah. So hey, you better make sure you closing in on Steph Curry because guess what? There's a 50% chance that shot is going in. And Steph is effortless. He's not afraid to let it go. He will let it rip. So just make sure, you keep your eyes on Steph Curry because I will say this. I believe Steph Curry's going to go in this series. He has something to prove because the only thing left on his resume is that finals MVP. So I believe that he's going to go out there and he's going to try to put on the show and add that to their resume with the MVPs, with the championship, with the most three-point shots in NBA history. I mean, the dude's trying to put him down as one of the greatest point guards to ever lace him up. And if he does that, he's gonna close in on that conversation. Ron, I see you shaking your head, but I mean, hey, it's going. If he wins the 4th championship, bro. And he does that. He's the finals MVP. Hey, he's getting close on that list, bro.
Yeah, close to Tony Parker, and that's about it.
The hate that Ron has. Hey, Jeremy, let's go ahead and I want to know your. You said you had a story on Steph Curry.
I do, yeah. So I grew up in North Carolina. Steph was from not far from here. His dad played for the Hornets. So we came up against them in a tournament.
Oh.
It was just outside of Charlotte. And you understand, Steph was about the 5th best player on his own team.
Right.
The only problem is that Steph had the quickest shot I have ever seen by a ridiculous amount. I had actually shot against him in some 3-point contests. I beat him once, and I swear to you, I want that on my head.
What?
I beat him and Wayne Ellington in the same shootout. And then
No
lost
way.
to a dude that I think like sells cars now or something. I guarantee you that dude tells that story, and my name never comes up. So I was the tallest guy on the team. I'm 6'5". I have been since I was 15 years old. So Steph comes out. They were up 27-0 on us. Steph had 20 of those. And we went, okay, this is not working. That little skinny kid is destroying us. So they put me out there on him. Well, when they put me on him, he started guarding me, which turned me into full card carrying captain of the team gets mine. I think I shot the next 10 shots we had because he was so much shorter than me.
Yeah.
I did hit 2 threes in his eye. And I got a picture of one of them that sits on my desk. And it is one of my claims to fame. I need people to not realize that, you know, it was a lot of pounds ago for me, and he looked like he was about 6 years old. And the final score of that game was 100-12.
Oh Lord, you had all 12, right?
I had 6 of the 12.
Oh.
I hit 2 threes on Steph. I was half of our offense. They had a big guy down low that. He was like 6'10", somewhere. He was a gigantic dude, and we couldn't touch him. When they put me on Steph finally just realized, oh, wait, that means the biggest guy is not down low anymore, so I'm just going to drop it into you and watch Frankenstein here just eviscerate you. And he did.
Frankie,
what is the story?
In the comments here, breaking news, John Madden is back on the cover of Madden 23. The first time he's been on the cover since 2000.
If he hadn't been on the cover, I wasn't buying
it. Yeah, well deserved. Definitely going to. Hey, I've been buying the digital copy for the last couple of years. I'm definitely going to buy the case copy this upcoming season. All right,
I'm happy about it, I guess.
Ron, what you mean? I guess, bro. The dude's a legend, bro. Like it ain't no I guess about that. Like,
yeah, but
flowers,
my Rams won the championship. I feel like it should be like Aaron Donald.
No.
Maybe a remix. They'll do the remix version.
Ron, I agree. You need to correct that. Our Rams. No.
Hold on. You know, I'm glad you said that. I've been waiting for the time that I could get at this topic. The hell you mean your Rams? I've known you for a minute. I never heard you say anything about the Rams until about 5 months ago.
Hey, Jeremy, I was born out there in the city of California. You know, so that's
it's like an LA adoption. It makes sense to me, Freddie. I get it.
Hey. Born out there in the city of Angels. That's my team. You know, they should do like 2K do.
The timing was ironic, right? Like the timing didn't have anything to do with, you know, Cooper Kupp having the greatest season we've ever seen from wide receiver. Maybe Matthew Stafford. Weird. Those Jared Goff years, it was quiet. You know, look, I'm a Jets fan, so this is one topic that I have all ability to throw shade. I lived through the butt fumble. I've lived through Al Groh, Herman Edwards. Still here. Man. Still excited about Zach Wilson.
That man fumbled off a butt.
But what I'm saying is they should do like 2K. You have one with John Madden, and then you have one with Aaron Donald. That's what I think they should have done. But hey,
ding, ding, ding.
You can't go wrong with John Madden. I mean,
yeah.
Respect one of the greatest to ever do it. But let's continue. Let's keep it moving, you guys. You know, last week the Lakers hired their head coach and Darvin. I got to learn his name. Darvin Ham. You know, he's assistant coach with the Milwaukee Bucks. He's been under Bud when he was in Atlanta. He was actually an assistant coach here in LA. The 2012-2013 season. A former player on the Detroit Pistons team. A real respected guy around the league. You know, a lot of fans don't know him, but he's well respected around the league. Matter of fact, you see Giannis Antetokounmpo coming out saying, "Hey, Lakers, you guys have the right guy. You seen LeBron James endorse it. So I mean, I'm gonna go first since I'm the fellow Laker fan on the show. I love the hire. I did not want the Lakers to go out and get a retread. I didn't want them to go get a Terry Stotts or Kenny Atkinson, who's been there. We know what they're about. This Laker team need a guy that's going to be firm. They need a guy that's going to hold guys accountable. And I'm loving what I'm seeing that's being reported that he told Genie Buck and Rob Pelinka that, hey, you want me to come coach this team? Kirk Rambis, he can't be in my coach. He can't be in my coaches meetings. I need to pick my own coaching staff. I'm loving that because that's something we didn't do with Frank Vogel. Matter of fact, we probably would have had Tyronn Lue if we would have went this route a few years ago. But with that being said, Ham, he's a tough nosed coach. He played tough defense when he played. What I'm hearing is that he's a coach friendly guy, a player's coach. But he'll hold you accountable. He do not mind being honest with you when you're not playing a certain way or you're not playing the right way. He will call you out on it, and I love it. And to me, I think this is a big hire for Anthony Davis because Ham is a guy that's been around Giannis Antetokounmpo for the last couple of years. I'm not saying that AD is going to take that big of a leap. I think AD better, but that's just me. AD
It's such a
just
disappointment.
no. AD he just don't have the heart as Giannis. If he had that heart, that drive, hey, AD's a better shooter. He's better inside, mid range. He can shoot the three. He can do it better.
Well, I mean, you
Better
can't
ball
shade
handling.
AD just because of his affliction. You know,
Yeah.
he has this affliction where his bones are made of glass, and every morning he breaks his arms, and every afternoon he breaks his legs,
Yeah,
and then
pretty
they
much.
piece him back together, and they try to do it again the next day.
But I think that this is gonna be a big hire for Anthony Davis because I believe Ham would not be afraid to get in his face and let him know, say, hey man, we need you to man up, get your big body in that post and dominate. I think he will not be afraid to do that with them. The interesting key is we all know. Will he be able to fix the cancer on their franchise? And y'all know who I'm talking about. I mean, he's worse than COVID. I mean, he's worse than COVID, and that's Russell Westbrook. I mean, because we seen last year, he came to this franchise, and we just got bad from top and bottom, real quick, real fast. But
No
it's gonna
Russell
be,
shade this morning. Stop it.
oh brother, hey,
Most
anytime it's a
overrated player
Lakers,
in the history of professional sports.
that's your favorite player.
That's my most overrated player in the history of professional sports.
Oh, okay. I'm about to
I
say.
And
catch
that's
more
okay.
shade on Russell Westbrook and James Harden, and I'm an NFL guy. I catch more shade on those two names than every other player in all sports multiplied by each other.
I got a question, Jeremy. What round did the Lakers lose in the playoffs? They made it pretty far, right?
I believe it was non-applicable. Does not apply to this conversation.
It's just so crazy, Freddie, how we transitioned to the Lakers so quickly.
They hired the coach. Isn't that important to talk about the America's team? We talking about a basketball run.
America's team, good Lord, they are the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA. America's team.
I'm just saying that everybody loves to talk about it. I mean, Ron, Jeremy, we're in this group chat, bro. We had this group chat about 60 plus of us, and I could be eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, just minding my business. All I do is, and hey, I'm talking about right now. Here come a Laker debate. I'm like, bro, we're not even in the playoffs yet. Like, we're not even playing. Like, but they love to talk about my team. That's how much so. Yes, Ron. That's why I brought it up. Jeremy.
I hate you, Frankie. I wanted to say that too.
Jeremy, do you like the hire, or do you think they should have got somebody else?
Well, I'm an affiliate for the Charlotte Hornets, so I've obviously been watching their coaching search, and there were two names. And I'm not going to Mike D'Antoni. Please don't do that. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. I don't want to have to be nice about that for 2 years. There were two names, and I heard you throw preliminary shade at one of them. It was Darvin Ham and Kenny Atkinson. That's the two names. And I said when this started, Kenny Atkinson would work with the Hornets. He won't work with the Lakers. Darvin Ham would work with the Lakers. He won't work with the Hornets because they're just two completely different scenarios. You understand? We're one of the least talked about teams in all of pro sports. Even here, I mean, I could literally drive to the stadium and be there, but probably before the end of this show, and we're still not talked about. So you need the player development guy. That's Kenny Atkinson. He's the guy that can take all these young pieces, mold them together, and turn them into what they're going to be. What a team that's centered around vet LeBron, vet Russell Westbrook, vet Anthony Davis needs is that. And look, I'm not the I played so I know better than you. The coach has to be a former player. I think that's the most overrated thing that people say on a daily basis. But there are certain times that it does matter. And when you have three strong vets like that, you need a name. You need a face that they can. This guy's been in the trenches. This guy knows what it's like when things go sideways, and they're gonna go sideways with this core at times. I don't think it's as doom and despair as a lot of people do. I don't think you're ever going to be better than the 6th seed in the West with these three together. But you need a strong voice, and that's what Darvin Ham is. Darvin Ham is also the second memory of college basketball of mine when he broke a backboard against North Carolina. NCAA tournament, I'll never forget it. Carolina was I think they were the 6th. Texas Tech was the 11th. Texas Tech came out and housed them. And Darvin Ham broke the backboard in the first half.
Wow.
Glass everywhere. I'll never forget that. As soon as he broke it, I went, uh-oh. This is not going well for my Tar Heels.
Yeah, I think you just kind of hate him when you said a 6 seed. There's no way we're gonna be a 6 seed. The worst. We're gonna be a top 3 seed next year in the West.
Who are you better than?
It depends on Glassman. You guys should be the best team out west. If Glassman.
Well, here's the question: who are you better than? Are you better than Golden State?
If we put the right people around that big three, we are. Because I believe Steph, Clay, I really do believe this. Like if they put the right guys around them, they can be better.
Your one thing is Talon Horton Tucker. Their 4 is Andrew Wiggins. You're not better than that.
The one thing we've been saying is, wow, LeBron James would really be incredible and get to his ceiling if he played with a capable big man. A capable big man. That's what we've been saying his entire career. Cleveland, Miami, he never had a big man he can count on. And he finally gets it in Anthony Davis, and we have declared him Glassman. Unfortunately.
Hey, we're not going to have no more Anthony Davis slander, sir. Because if you guys seen him,
he deserved it.
Oh, he's the Sasquatch of the NBA. I always hear how great he is. The only problem is that I see him in a suit sitting on the sideline way more often than I see that guy.
He's a spoiled prince, and winning that championship in the bubble was the first thing for him, the worst thing for him. And I don't know what happened to AD. It's ridiculous. But after this season, he should be embarrassed. I hope he comes back hungry.
Well, they won the AARP bubble title because they got to take a 4-month nap in the middle of the season. And then all of a sudden, oh, you mean this geriatric team was fine after a 4-month layoff? I'm really not trying to throw shade. I think you're a playoff team. I don't see who you're supposed to be better than. Now, you got a potential of good news. It looks like Utah's about to catch on fire and burn to the ground. Because Quinn Snyder is apparently leaving, and Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell refuse to play together.
So let me ask you a question, Jeremy. Who's your NBA team?
I am a Denver Nuggets fan.
So if Denver would have won that championship, would you be saying the same thing about them?
Oh, I would still be saying it, but I would be gladly wearing the T-shirts and the hats and throwing all the smart-ass comments I could possibly throw out there. You got to understand, I've won 2 national titles. Florida State in 93, Florida State in 2000. And in 2015, which was Jimbo Fisher, so I don't even count it. That's all I've ever won in my life. All of my teams are terrible. I don't care if you told me the other 28 teams protested the league and refused to play. I'll still wear the shirt. I'll still throw all the smoke, and it will still be my team and my champion.
And guess who? And Frankie, guess who knocked down a game-winning shot in this series too? Or the unibrow, the unibrow. Ooh, that AD, hey, Bubble AD was something different, man. I'm gonna tell you, he was something different, and I believe we're gonna see Bubble AD this year. You can book it.
I don't think
You
he's going to
can,
stay focused in LA.
I just
man.
hope he
Hey,
gets some kind of therapy for that disorder because I'm really tired of playing him in fantasy and getting to see Benchman.
hey, Ron, you say that, man, but you know what? Hey, AD, he knows what it takes to be a champ because he did it. And hey, that they messed up. They shouldn't have brought in. They shouldn't have brought Russell Westbrook in this year. I believe that hurt him a lot. But hey, he's here now. There's nothing we can do about it. We just got to do better and win.
He played like 20 games. Russell Westbrook didn't have anything to do with AD.
No, yes, you do. I said from the first game, I said, man, they treated Russell Westbrook like he should be the one or two option. They treat AD like he's a third option. That's a big mistake. AD should be our top two option, either number one or number two.
Number one.
I would agree with that.
So, I mean, you can't go wrong because I mean, hey, Bron did come out there and average 30 and put 30 on the boys' head on them.
I
Way
mean,
to
nobody's
waste.
talking about this, but LeBron had one of his best offensive seasons of his
All right.
career.
Way to waste
He,
a
he just
LeBron
looked
year.
at this team and went, I'm going to have to do this myself. And in large part, he did.
He went all Kobe mode.
He did.
Yeah, he went all Kobe mode. Hey, and guess what? AD gonna win the MVP this year with the championship. Ron, you want to put a bet on that?
No, I don't even like talking
Okay.
about it because I thought that was going to be his energy coming off the championship. And
I mean, for him
just-
to win an MVP, he's got to beat my two-time NBA MVP, Mr. Nikola Jokic.
Ooh,
Oh, that's
Greatest player in the NBA. Non-debatable.
I think the next couple of MVPs are going to belong to Luka.
I think you're right. Luka is going to be that guy. And I don't even really know how to quantify this. He's in that Barkley mold of you're just so good and you never have anything around you. It's just you and four dudes from the Y. I mean, literally the story that came out about, they're going to be so much better next year was leaning on Tim Hardaway Jr. to make them better. Tim Hardaway Jr. couldn't play dead in a Western defensively. His shot is as inconsistent as they come, but he can kind of score, so maybe that'll be the other guy.
Same
bad
thing with
for Luka.
Dinwiddie. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's throw some NFL topics in here today. We're going to talk about, who's the best team in the NFC, the best team in the AFC. We can start with the NFC first. Y'all already know where I'm going with this. I mean, I'm going with my Rams. I believe we're going back to back. We're going to do the LA style. We're going to do a three-peat. That's my opinion, because I believe with Matthew Stafford at the quarterback position, he's giving us something better than Jared Goff. He's not a guy that's going to turn the ball over a lot. He's a guy that don't mind chunking the ball downfield to get the ball to Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, or whoever. It don't matter who's if you're a receiver, he's gonna get the ball to you. But I'm more impressed than Sean McVay. He's still the coach down there. And hey, I believe they're gonna get a deal done with the best defensive player in the game, and Aaron Donald. Hey, even though I don't
equity.
he signed with Donda with Kanye West, we seen that. But hey, the Rams contract is coming. I promise you. Just wait.
Wait, Aaron Donald signed with Donda?
Yeah,
He did.
Oh, they got him and Jalen. Oh my gosh, Kanye.
So I believe that defense will still be nasty. I still believe they'll be able to cause conflict on the defensive end. We still got so hey, I'm going with the Rams, back-to-back champions. They'll be the best team in the NFC for sure. And hey, I'm coming for all y'all people that's called me a fake fan.
I don't like Aaron
fan.
Donald's energy. I don't like Aaron Donald's energy right now. I understand. I give him all the praise. He is the greatest, better than LT, and we can keep going. But I don't like the energy, Freddie, and that's coming from a Rams fan.
What energy? Why you don't like the energy? Like, what do you don't like about it? Explain more.
Because you are literally, the Rams are at the ceiling. The ceiling is the roof. And there's no reason to hold out for money. You've been making $30 million a year for a while now. Get to OTAs, make sure this team is ready, and be the leader that you're supposed to be. Come on with the shenanigans. We've crowned you. You're going to get paid. Stop it.
Hey, I'm not afraid of. He's not gonna hold out. I promise, bro.
No,
He'll be. He'll
but
be.
he's
He'll
been
be.
talking about retiring for a while. Like, why you keep doing this to us? Right? He's
I
always up to
agree.
this.
I agree, but I'm
I'll
just saying.
I'll
But
be
I'm
a
just.
little different. My favorite team that I think is going to win the NFC. I think Tampa Tom walks away with his last Super Bowl and retires. But how about the Eagles? They could definitely have a 13-4, 13-4, 14-3 season.
Damn, I thought I was going to be contrarian here. I have so much money on the Eagles that if they don't win that division, I'm literally going to have to sell my house. As soon as I saw the schedule, I went, well, the Eagles are winning that division comfortably. I don't disagree with you on the Rams being the best team in the NFC. But can we be honest about something? The NFC sucks.
Yeah.
I mean,
like 3 teams.
So I just did my power rankings on our show last week. Of my top 17 teams, 6 are in the NFC.
11-6.
6. I mean, and I'll be honest with you, I pulled them up in front of me. The Dallas Cowboys are my 8. Minnesota is my 7. One of these teams is making the playoffs. The Rams are clearly better than every team in the NFC to me. And I don't buy Tampa Bay as much as everybody else. At some point, the fact that you have a quarterback that's this close to AARP is that's going to burn you, because he's going to see an all-you-can-eat 4 o'clock buffet and just be gone eating his banana pudding. And at some point, it's going to catch you. It has to.
Sam, come on here. Said of those teams, Jeremy, how many can win the Super Bowl?
Looking at my power rankings, basically the way I did it is I did it in tiers. It was 8 teams per tier. I had 8 teams that could win the Super Bowl. In reverse order, it was the Packers, Buccaneers, Chiefs, Bengals, Chargers, Rams, Ravens, Bills. I don't think anybody else can win a Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles are my 9. And I just don't think you can win a Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts. You can be real good. You can win a lot of games. But I don't think you can win a Super Bowl.
All right, we'd like to welcome Nate the Great to the show. What's going on, Nate?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
All righty, Nate. Who do you see the best team in the NFC this upcoming season?
See, my problem with it is that I think the Rams are the best team in the NFC, but I think that's really because the NFC just got so much worse. Packers lost Devontae Adams. He went over to the Raiders. Bears lost Khalil Mack. There's basically a lot of NFC talent that went all the way over to the AFC. Even Von Miller left the Rams, went to the Bills. So I think the Rams will go to the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to win it, though.
You come out of the AFC, you have beaten a murderer's row of teams. I mean, it's insane. The 11th best team in the AFC right now to me is the Denver Broncos. They're the 3rd best team in the NFC. You put them in any division in the NFC, they'd go 13-4.
I would put them as the 4th best team in the NFC, but yeah, pretty much that.
Green Bay just scares me. They've got too many rookies. Now, they have 3 rookies I really like. A lot of people talk about Green Bay and, they lost Devontae Adams. I totally get that. That's an organization that does not prioritize receivers. They never have. Now you got Christian Watson. He's not going to be a 1. Look, I graded him out. I loved him. I think he's one of the best with the ball in his hand receivers in this league. or in this draft, excuse me. The problem is he can't run a route. He's never been asked to. So you're going to see a lot of jet sweeps and bubbles and things to get the ball in his hand. I like the other two, though. The two that nobody talks about, Romeo Doubs, kid out of Nevada. I really liked him. And Samari Torre. Every team in the NFL wanted to talk to him, and they sniped him in the 7th round because everybody thought he wasn't going to get drafted. I think they have enough pieces to still be very good. The shade on Green Bay is a little overstated to me. I think they're much closer to Tampa Bay than Tampa Bay is to the Rams. That's probably the best way I could say that.
Ron, you there? Oh, you already gave me your team anyway. All right. Hey, you guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to go on the AFC side and see what's the best team on that side. We're going to see Nate. He's going to probably choose his Denver Broncos
Oh,
to be
no.
the best team
Not
in
even.
the
Not
AFC.
even.
Hell, we might even hear Jeremy say that the New York Nets or the New York Jets are the best team in their division. So who knows? But let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after these messages.
This is the Fox D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at foxdnetwork.com.
All right. We are back. So we went to the NFC route. Our best teams in NFC. I said the Rams. Nate said, who did you say, Nate?
I said the Rams as well for the NFC.
Me and Nate said the Rams. Jeremy, he said the Eagles. But Ron said the Eagles too, I believe.
I mean, the Rams are the best team in the NFC. I just think the Eagles are the one everybody's sleeping on.
What's up, Frankie?
What's going on?
What team in the NFC do you see being the best team next year?
I mean, well, do you have to
say
go
it with your chest, Frankie? Say it with your chest.
No. You have to go with the defending champions. I mean, you have to beat the team in order to make it there. But I don't think the Rams are going to continue what they did. I mean, especially losing Wentworth, their best offensive lineman. So I'm gonna have to say the Eagles with how they stacked up. They're secretly a quiet team. It just comes down to Jalen Hurts. But right now, I think the Eagles has a chance. But it's between the Rams. I like it. It's between the Rams and the Eagles. But for me, I have to say the Eagles.
Okay. All right, let's go to the AFC side. To me, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. And, the last 2 years we've seen them kind of struggle. We've seen them guys, not really go deep in the playoffs as expected. But to me, I believe they have definitely, they lost Tyreek Hill. We heard Jeremy say the same thing about, the Green Bay Packers on their receiving core. I believe the Kansas City Chiefs just rebuffed their receiving core. I believe that's going to be a lot more targets for Patrick Mahomes to be able to hit. You still have Travis Kelsey. I still think they improved a little bit on the defensive end. That offensive line is going to get better. He's going into the second year of that line being rebuilt. You still have Andy Reeves is the offensive hero down there. So I'm gonna go with the Kansas City Chiefs. I believe Patrick Mahomes is gonna have another big year this year, and they're gonna win a lot of football games. And they're gonna say a lot. They're gonna have a lot to say when it comes to the postseason as well.
Complete disagreement. Mahomes
Well,
is
we know
the
you're
is the
gonna say the
NFL
Patriots.
version of Mahomes is the NFL version of Anthony Davis.
How?
I can't wait. I can't with Ron. I really can't.
This is what I want to know too.
1 second.
Jeremy, who's your team that be that's the best team down there in the AFC?
Buffalo Bills. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Complete agreement.
Here's my question: If you had to lay your money on an MVP right now, who is it, and why is it Josh Allen?
Because he carries that team alone. He can carry that team alone.
As a top 5 receiver in the NFL, Gabriel Davis. All of my fantasy content will be coming out starting next week. New show, Mullet Man and the Canadan.
Love it.
Yes, I do find it funny that I had to go to Canada to find somebody with fantasy that would argue with me. I like to argue. I'm a big fan of argument. Gabriel Davis is a top 24 receiver in the NFL to me. I still like Dawson Knox. James Cook is the running back that nobody talked about and is going to be the best rookie running back out of this class. I've said it. I'm going to keep saying it. I will die on that shield if I have to. And you added Von Miller. You already had a good pass rush, and you added Von Miller.
Yikes.
That team is terrifying. And every team in there, that's the only division where you have 3 teams that I don't know what they are.
The Jets are all right. The Jets are all right.
Stop, Ron, stop.
We are more talented than we were. We're also going to be the most talented 4-13 team you've ever seen in your life. Look, I met Zach Wilson's now ex-girlfriend. So last year they opened the season with the Panthers, and I'm a Panthers affiliate. I got to meet Zach's girlfriend. And I'll just tell you this. If he was half as good at football as he is at spinning game in a bar, we'd be Super Bowl champions. He's not. And he's not even close, if I was being really honest.
Yikes.
She was money.
Well,
I mean, just straight
show.
fire.
What's going on, Ray?
What's up, man? How y'all doing today?
I'm good. Frankie, come on here and tell us why the New England Patriots will be the best team in the AFC next year.
No. I love my team, die hard always, but we're nowhere near it yet. We got some missing pieces that we didn't even connect to. Bill Belichick made some questionable draft picks, some strange ones, especially in the first round. Some strange draft pick. But I have to agree, honestly, the Buffalo Bills are actually as scary as teams. Sorry for my language, but they're scary. Like last year, they were like a little scary, but this year they're even more scarier than what they were. And it just sucks for, especially for Jeremy being a Jets fan and me being a Patriots fan. We're both over here agreeing that it's the Bills. But then again, the Bills are not going to win a championship. I don't care how many people are going to say it. The Bills are always what the Bills are. They make it to the playoffs, get their fans hyped, and then lose, and then get their fans upset just for one day because literally the Buffalo Bills fan base is just so hardcore that they could just be mad for one day and then love them again. But then again, with the Buffalo shootings and stuff, maybe that can be a little push for the Buffalo Bills to do something for the city of Buffalo. But I don't see them winning a championship. But Buffalo Bills are scary in the AFC.
The Bills have to win a championship this year. I bought tables. I bought lighter fluid so that their fans could put me through it. I don't have room for these tables to stay here for another year. They have to be set on fire, and I have to go through them.
You know what? Nobody. Y'all act like y'all scared. Jeremy come on here. He won't pick his Jets. Frankie come on here. Won't pick his Patriots. All right, Ray. I'm gonna try you now. Tell us why the Jacksonville Jaguars will be the best team in the AFC. Go.
But look, we all optimistic fans. We want our team to do good. Hey, I stand out on a limb. I'd say, hey, Jacksonville's going to surprise teams, and they could be a wild card playoff team this year. I mean, their OTAs right now, they've been positive messages coming out of the OTAs. Kirkland is starting to find his hands catching the ball in the slot. Travis Etienne is now being on the field full time from his injury. He is shaping out to be a good running back / wide receiver type prototype that they can use in different formations, different things. And Doug Peterson has now put Sanat in a different position than what Urban Meyer was using them for. I think it suits his qualities. So you're going to see a lot of mismatch with him coming out of the backfield, coming down wide receiver slots, putting him out in the wide, mixing him around and showing different formations. So the offense is looking pretty good. And I think it's going to be a test of if Ingram can be a good tight end that he was, if he can stay healthy. That's going to be the key. They have that tight end, that mismatched tight end that Jacksonville has never had in their history. So they got that playmaking tight end they need to get a conference builder for Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to see a different Trevor Lawrence than we did the first year. I think the game is slowing down for him a little bit coming out of his rookie year. They always say the sophomore year is going to be the toughest. So let's see how he performs out of that. If he gets the sophomore year good, I think this is going to be a good start for Trevor Lawrence. But right now, I think Jacksonville is no longer a laughing stock. I think they will make the playoffs by a wild card. Just my opinion, being the fans. No longer a laughing.
Everybody's forgetting that the Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC Championships not that long ago. I mean, and they were the first team last year to beat the Buffalo Bills.
And they always say
how many players from that team are still on this team?
None.
There you go.
But look, I'm going to tell you what, though. New England got away with that 2017. Miles Jack wasn't down.
Oh, my God.
So
there we go. You guys just
Jacksonville's greatest addition was the subtraction of Urban Meyer.
Hey, what's so bad about the whole deal is New England, y'all, everybody's laughing at us and stuff like that. But, they took the referees to cheat to get New England to the Super Bowl.
No, you just couldn't handle the GOAT at the time. You weren't ready.
Well, I mean, Bill Belichick made a deal with Satan. I mean, we have to understand that. It's very hard to beat the devil. I mean, I was married to her. Trust me, she told me all about it. They met in a dark alley. It was signed in blood. I saw it. I did have it.
Hey, I seen it too. My ex-wife, man, she's a devil in disguise.
Man, I think you guys you must have handled it to me because I'm dealing with the devil myself. You must have handled it that way.
All right. Anywho, Gonzo, welcome to the show. What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going?
Not much. So, Gonzo, we know you're you're an Indy guy, but we're talking about the AFC now, brother. Who do you think is going to be the best team down there? I mean, there's a lot to choose from. But who's going to be the best team in the AFC?
Don't you say it, Gonzo.
Definitely not the Colts because they got snapping knee Matt.
Gonzo, say it with your chest. Don't be scared.
Hey, I'm going to go with the Colts with my team. We're going to be a lot better this year, I think. I think Matt Ryan is going to be – Matt Ryan played good put up good numbers in Atlanta. They just didn't have the defense in Atlanta either. I think he's going to put up good numbers for the Colts. I like the additions the Colts made on defense, getting Gilmore. I still think they need to get a receiver. I still don't understand why they haven't went after a receiver this year. But I think our offense will be better. I think the defense will be better. I think the Colts will win the AFC South this year. I think the Colts are going to make a deep run in the playoffs.
Hey, Ron, you know what I call the Colts? The emergency room Colts.
I don't.
All right, Ron,
I don't
who's your
think the Colts. I don't think the Colts will go all the way and like win the Super Bowl, but I'm actually with them, and I'm saying that they're going to win the AFC South.
I mean, yeah,
Ron,
because of
who
what
you got?
Tennessee did to their team.
Well, Ron, who do you got being the best team down there in the AFC?
It's so hard to choose because there's so many incredible teams. Jeremy, where'd you have the Ravens at on your rankings? Number 2.
In the AFC?
Like it.
Number 2 overall.
Ooh.
I feel like
That's another team that if they're not good, I'm going to have to sell my. I will have to go into prostitution. That's the only way I will make that much money back, and that's a lot of effort for a dude that looks like this.
You're putting a lot of confidence in Lamar Jackson.
I'm putting zero confidence in Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm putting confidence in? That defense is going to be filthy. I mean, ridiculously otherworldly good.
Best
How
DBs.
is 31 other NFL teams, we allowed them to wind up with Kyle Hamilton? I will never know. I will never understand how 13 teams looked at him and went, well, he ran a 4.6. Who cares? He was the best player of the draft by, I think, quite a bit.
Yikes.
That defense is going to be dirty. And people seem to forget that J.K. Dobbins is coming back. Now you've got 3 legitimate tight ends. That team's going to look like they're playing in 1994. But they're going to be real good at it. And you got to think, this is something I have always said about Baltimore. I didn't love Lamar Jackson at all. I didn't love him coming out. I didn't think he was a quarterback. He's proven me wrong. When every team in the NFL is getting smaller, faster, shiftier. So what does Baltimore do? We're going to pound you in the mouth. So now your defense is smaller to deal with all these spread teams. How are you going to deal with a team that runs 2 tight ends constantly? How are you going to deal with a team that has 5 gigantic offensive linemen that will just run it down your throat? Look at the defenses in the AFC. They're all built to stop the Chargers, Kansas City, Buffalo. So I got one team that doesn't do that. How exactly are you supposed to stop that? I love Baltimore.
Wow. I agree with everything you said, except the Lamar Jackson shade.
Oh, trust me, there's no shade. I've been at ESPN for 3.5 years. I have missed 2 things just grossly, horribly bad. Lamar Jackson and the Cincinnati Bengals last year. I said the Bengals were going to win 2 games last year. So, and they're good Lord, I love their fans. God, their fans love to throw shade, and I'm actually going to Cincinnati for a game this year.
All right. So let's shift it back to the NBA side, and I want to kind of be a little petty with this topic. You know, I like to be petty every once in a while.
I guess we're gonna talk about the Lakers, Freddie.
No, we're not talking about the Lakers.
What's wrong with that? Let's talk about the Lakers. How they're gonna win the championship next year. That's right. I said that with my chest out, Freddie.
I'm not getting into that. I'm talking about we're gonna talk about 2 former players, a former player for the Golden State Warriors and a former player for the Boston Celtics. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. We seen them 2 been on a roller coaster ever since they've been in Brooklyn. They have not had that great a season. But who do you think? Who looks worse now that they both left their teams? But now they see their former teams in the finals, who look worse, Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving? And whoever want to take the floor on this one, I'm gonna let you go. I think I want to speak last one because I'm interested in see you guys' opinions. Anytime now.
KD. I'm gonna say KD, not just because I hate him, but because he let his ego get in the way of staying with Golden State. He didn't like the way Draymond was talking to him. Boo-hoo, you won 2 championships with them. If you would have stood with them, you would have probably won 2 more. Y'all would have probably won 4 straight, maybe. Maybe not. But you let your ego get in the way of being with Golden State. And then you want to go on to Brooklyn and play with Kyrie, and then you let James Harden come in, and then look what happened. You got swept in the first round. I mean, I'm not gonna blame Kyrie for what he did. He felt like he could have led Brooklyn after leaving Boston. He had his chance in Boston, but it didn't click well with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So let him go to Brooklyn and do what he did. But I say KD.
Anybody disagree with him?
I do vehemently. Kyrie Irving will always be the right answer here. Kyrie Irving is the jet ski of the NBA. It sounds so good. And then it rusts and it's expensive and you never get out on the water. And then it just sits in the garage and you look at it and go, man, I wasted a lot of money on that. Kyrie Irving could not play a tree in a kid's play defensively. Oh, he scores a lot. There's a lot of guys that score a lot. And I could care, and I'll go ahead and tell you, I could care less about the vaccine thing. You don't want to take it. I don't care. I'm so sick of that story. That has nothing to do with it. To me, this guy has blown up every team he's ever been on. So, I mean, I'm going back to Duke. He was supposed to be the next great thing to lead Duke to a national title. He played 8 games. I was in the building for 2 of them. He's just grossly overrated, and he always has been. He's a great offensive player, and that's it. He's Seth Curry on steroids. Woo.
You know what, Jeremy? I'm gonna piggyback on you on that one. And that's where I think it cannot be Kyrie Irving, because guess what? Kyrie Irving, he didn't just turn into a nutcase now. He's been that since college, like you just mentioned. So that's why I say it gotta be Kevin Durant. KD, you knew this. KD, you left Steph Curry, one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time, to one of the guys that helped you win 2 championships, a guy that you trusted by leaving Russell Westbrook, a guy that you did not believe you could win with, to go team up to get your first championship, but you chose to go team up with a guy who's blown up different situations. We seen what happened in Cleveland. We seen what happened in Boston. And then we seen what happened now in Brooklyn. So he looks even worse now because KD is chasing LeBron. He's chasing Kobe. He's chasing Jordan. But I believe by him leaving Golden State Warriors is going to hurt him. Because I will say this. I'm going to say this. If he would have stayed, and they would have been off for a year because Clay was hurt, Steph was hurt, but he was hurt, they would have took off that year. And he was there now. Golden State would be on a run that we would not have seen. They would have won at least 3 more championships.
Well, I mean, Kyrie is nutty as a squirrel's dinner, and we know that he always has been. But there's something that you said there. I feel like Kevin Durant leaving Golden State was a lot like why I've never been on a date with Kate Beckinsale. I've never been invited. Didn't want me, didn't ask me, and so what I do from there is not really on me. They chose Draymond over Kevin Durant. He went to have his own team. The Golden State thing, that was done. We're either choosing Draymond or we're choosing KD. They went with Draymond. Now they're in the finals, and I'll be honest with you, I think they chose right. Kevin Durant is who he is. He's a selfish guy. If you don't believe that, watch his Twitter. I've had a couple wars of words with him myself because and if you ever want to talk to Kevin Durant, just throw a little shade at him. Do it 2 or 3 times. He'll eventually respond. I promise. And he's just soft. We know who he is, but you tied yourself to Kyrie. This was your idea of we're going to go to Brooklyn and win titles, and it never made any sense. They can't do anything defensively. I mean, I would blame KD for the combo, but Kyrie's the one at fault.
I think I just heard Jeremy say Draymond Green is better than KD. This is a dream.
I said he's a better fit for that team.
I heard what I heard.
He's a better fit for that. I mean, that's what I don't know if that's how I said it, but Draymond Green's a better fit for that team. That team's in the finals, and Kevin Durant's been sitting on the beach for about a month.
He
now.
was 1 toenail from winning the championship last year. Jeremy, stop it.
Oh my God. Kevin Durant sucked. Shut up, Kevin Durant sucks. Draymond Green is better than KD. Okay, he's been to more finals. He's won more finals. I don't care what anybody said. I said what I said.
By that logic, Robert Ory's the greatest player that ever lived.
But
Give me a
this
minute.
is
I'll give
said
you
it, I
facts.
mean
You'll
it.
love to hear somebody
This
say
is how
that.
people going to look at this. They're going to look at it how they look at the Kobe and Shaq. People always say they left some on the table, and we're going to all believe that this team with Kevin Durant and Golden State Warriors, they left some on the table because KD, like Jeremy said, a little sensitive. We all know what happened on the sideline between him and Draymond. A little sensitive. Got in his feelings, got hurt. Then he wants this to be his team. They fighting over that and
He
all
called
that.
him the B word. We all would
But
be sensitive.
hey, but guess what? We seen Draymond call LeBron to be weird, but guess what? Now they business partners. So hey, at the end of the day, um, at the end of the day, we always gonna feel like they left some on the table. Ray, how do you feel about that? Who do you think look worse?
Both of them. I'm just going to tell you straight up. They both look worse. I mean, Kevin Durant couldn't get himself together and let Draymond Green trash talk him while he was on the same team. I mean, that's why he had to leave because, I mean, him and Draymond Green's relationship is not going to be prepared for that for Kevin Durant. Now, you talking about Kyrie Irving. We know he's a nutcase. He thinks the world is flat. Whenever he made that statement, world coming flat, his game went bye-bye. I mean, that dude is just a total nutcase coming out of Duke University.
Nope.
I mean,
Nope.
You got some players from Duke are turning out good. You got some players that are bad apple, and he's one of the bad apple in the locker room. He's one of the bad apple off the court. I mean, his game is okay. I mean, he can score, but his defense is suspect.
Nope.
Kevin Durant
Kyrie,
even came out.
Uncle Drew, I know you're listening. I will not let Ray just slander you like
And I'm going to tell you straight out, KD made a mistake with leaving the Golden State Warriors because his championship went bye-bye when he left that team. I mean, going to Brooklyn, he had a good nucleus, but then Harden became a disabled function in that group. Kyrie didn't want to do anything. He became a dysfunctional. So they left KD on the island by himself, and he only played, 44 games because he got injured. I mean, KD can't even stay healthy.
Well, I mean, that team construction never made sense. You have three of the highest usage rate players in the league. So they got all their money because they're high usage. There's only one ball. And so that was never going to work. And then James Harden discovered the beauty of butter. He figured out you put butter on everything. I think James Harden was putting butter on his Fruit Loops by the time right about the time that trade happened.
Hey, you guys, I got a way that how we can get this team back to winning. I can tell you a way where we can get this Brooklyn Nets team back to winning. It's going to be a trade. All right, you have trade Kyrie Irving and you trade Russell Westbrook. Swap them. LeBron James can control Kyrie Irving to a point where you know what? Hey, we're in him to win it. We ain't here for none of that sideshow. We ain't here for none of that BS. Hey, it worked before. I believe it'll work again. And then you bring Westbrook with KD. I believe they'll figure something out. They'll let Russ do him, and KD will probably go to Washington or somewhere, go over and say he's going to win one for his home state, whatever. But I think that worked best for the Lakers. Kyrie come put on the purple and go because he can't be a nut in the Kobe Beans Bryant house because that's the guy he look up to.
Lakers going to need another part-time player, though. Irvin's only going to play about 55, 60 games a season, and if that, he hasn't played over 65 games.
Chris, by that time, a lot of the rules have changed and everything like that. So
Freddie is just trying to get rid of Russell Westbrook. That's all he's trying to do. I mean, he's trying to figure every which way but loose to try to get him away from his Lakers team.
I'm 100% agreeing with Joe in the comments. Why would the Nets do that?
Freddie doesn't want to admit that he has the Baker Mayfield of the NBA on his team. And nobody would give him a satchel full of basketballs for Kyrie or for Russell Westbrook.
Why wouldn't the Nets do that? The Nets have a player that, for this time that he want to take breaks, and it's not just the vaccine. We've seen him even before the vaccine miss a lot of time. So I mean, hey, one thing about Russell Westbrook you can't say is he will show up to work. Now, what version of work you get from him? Hey, that's another thing. But he will show up to work.
If you look at Freddie's roadmap of Russell Westbrook, he's got him linking going to Charlotte, he got him linking going to Brooklyn, got him linking going to Cleveland, got him linking going to every which way but loose. And next thing you know, he's going to be linked to going to Spain or something. That's
I will say, as the spokesman for the Hornets, we're not interested in Russell Westbrook. We would rather LaMelo Ball get close to that girl PJ Washington had a kid with than Russell Westbrook.
I agree with that.
Hey, I just pray that I wake up one morning and I see the little tweet Oh, Russell Westbrook has been traded. Hey, hell, I'm okay if Jeremy signs with the Lakers and we let go of Russell Westbrook. I mean, it's that bad. It is that bad. But yeah.
Are they going to play half court? I way too many heaters and Bud Lights. Like I can only play half court at this point. I still get shots up. Just don't
Hey,
ask me to defend anybody.
hey, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you this. I'll be okay with you just stand on 3 point line, Brian. Just throw it deep, bam, Jeremy. You just shoot. Hey,
And
but
I will make Steph Curry and Kyrie Irving look like Draymond Green, though. I mean, like James Harden defense. I'm playing 10 feet off of you. You don't even have to head fake me. Just shoot it. I'm not gonna jump. That's not gonna happen.
you know what, you guys? I want to shift back to the NFL because I want to hear Jeremy's perspective on this because I follow him on Facebook. I've listened to him on the shows that hate that. I've never thought I might find somebody who hate the Cowboys as much as I do, but this guy here, he don't like him either. So Jeremy, I mean, hey, the Cowboys, they traded Amari Cooper away. So, and he was a big part for Dak's success. Let's call it what it is. Before Amari was there, Dak didn't really look that good. That team didn't look that good as well. They trusted in the CD Lamb to be their number one option. How far can this Cowboy team really go? And I know you're a big fan of that Philadelphia Eagles team as well.
All right. I'm gonna answer your question with a question. How many Cowboys fans does it take to change a light bulb? 3. One to do it, one to hold the ladder, and one to talk about how great the old light bulb was. I don't get it. I do not understand this Dallas Cowboy team. Name me a position where they didn't get worse. Receiving core, worse. Offensive line, worse. Defensive line, worse. Secondary wasn't good to begin with. Trayvon Diggs has 2 speeds. Intercept you, burnt like toast. There's no in between. He's either burnt like last night's dinner or he will pick you off from time to time. And I just look at Philadelphia and go, where are they not better than you? I mean, yeah, Dak Prescott's better than Jalen Hurts. I don't think anybody with an IQ above salad dressing would argue that. But is he that much better? I mean, where Dak in terms of quarterbacks in the NFL, where you put him?
Not even top 10.
It's not top 10 for me.
No, I was going to say maybe around 15 to 20.
He's 12 for me. We just did quarterback rankings last Friday, and Derek Carr was 11. Dak Prescott was 12. Jalen Hurts was
Jeremy,
19.
I wish he was on this show a few months ago. We had this debate, man, and it got heated because somebody, I forgot who it was, they had Dak Prescott ranked number 5. And I'm like, man, y'all are smoking crack. And they called me crazy. I said, he's not even top 10.
I will accept any number that starts with a 1 and ends with a number that's less than 7. As long as he's 11 to 16, I think I will not argue with you by any stretch of the imagination. Anything higher than that, I will adamantly argue with you. If you wanted to put Derek Carr behind him, I don't agree, but I at least get it. The other 10, I don't understand in the least.
All right, let's go to our fellow Cowboy fan on the show, Nate the Great.
I'm not a cow.
Nate, weren't you
He's
rooting
saying
for them
that.
1 year?
He is saying that because I used to live in Texas.
Nate, weren't you rooting for them 1 year?
No.
Huh.
I would.
Okay.
I would.
Pretty trying to turn everybody in ASAP Network into team switch.
Hey, Freddie, man, you talking about team switching? You are a team switcher. Go from the Giants, now you're a Rams because Rams won the Super Bowl. I mean, and then you were a Rodgers fan, Green Bay fan at one time. So, I mean, you switch teams like you switch your underwears.
You know what, Ray? It's time.
I got some smoke at him about that. I said I've known you for a long time, and all of a sudden, like Matthew Stafford shows up and my Rams.
Hold on, you know what? Y'all want to go there? I got a hot take. It's time for our segment called Hot Take. Give me 1 second. I wasn't going to do this till the season started, but I'm gonna let it out right now. 1 second. Be right back. Got a hot take for you. Let's get it.
All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All plantation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays.
Well. This is the segment of the morning show, our hot take segment. And since these guys has persuaded me to do this, I'm going to do it. Yes, last year you guys heard me say that Aaron Rodgers is a bad man, that he's the second best quarterback in the NFL, that, hey, this dude is this talented, that he's this, he's that. But no more. I will no longer say that. There's another quarterback that has emerged that has surpassed him, that is better than him, that now that we can say that he's a bad man, and he's in the NFC. No, I'm not talking about Tom Brady. No, I'm not talking about Dak Prescott. Yes, I'm talking about Matthew Stafford. He is better than Aaron Rodgers. Why do I say that? Do not allow him being down there in purgatory, down there in Detroit, affect him. Because we've seen 1 year, that's all it took for him to go to LA, where he had reasonable weapons around him, where he had reasonable a good defense behind him. He had a great coach behind him. He had the best defensive player in football in Aaron Donald, and he won a championship. He has surpassed Aaron Rodgers as that bad man that he is. And I'm going to rephrase that. He's not just a bad man. He's a bad man in Matthew Stafford. He is the guy, and he's going to lead my Rams to back-to-back championships, and you can book it. Anybody want to take a bet, hit my inbox up. We're going to show you. That's what we do here.
That's going to be Freddie's, not one, not two, not three. Like, somebody clip that to use that against him down the line.
Oh, we will. Don't worry. It always comes back and hurts him.
It's going to happen.
That was the craziest hot take ever. Oh, my God.
This one,
Oh,
I knew
my
this was
God.
coming. I knew this was coming because I think he's told me that before.
Hey, I'm just letting everybody know, because y'all test me, y'all try me at times, but I just have to let y'all know the real deal. But
So you're actually saying Matthew Stafford's better than Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Aaron Rodgers is throwing to 5 dudes that I think he found at Walmart, and he's still going to find a way to be in the conference championship game.
Hey, I'm just, you know what, Joe? That's cute. That's cute. You know what, Sandra? This is the same dude in the comments that claimed that he used to be a Cowboys fan, Jeremy. This guy right here used to be a Cowboys fan. He switched to be a Rams fan last year. So what are you talking about, Sandra? Like, pick your team. But number two.
So you guys became Rams fans at the same time?
I was thinking it. I just wasn't going to say it. So basically, he pulled a Freddie, and now you're throwing some shade at my guy for throwing for. Okay.
But pulling on Freddie, yeah. That's Freddie's MO.
Hey, I'm just saying, don't come for me when you switch teams from America's team to go to a team for the Rams. I'm just saying. But, Chris, how far do you think the Cowboys will go next year?
Oh, I don't think they're going to go very far. I think they're a worse team, like Jeremy was saying. They've gotten worse in about every position. I don't see why every year we have to talk about how the Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders when they haven't been for a long time. And like I said, their roster is worse this year than last year. They might make the playoffs, but I don't see them making a deep playoff run.
Chris, we don't call them Super Bowl contenders. Cowboy fans call them Super Bowl contenders.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, that's true.
The Cowboys fan remind me of one person on this panel right now. That's Freddie, because Freddie always picks the Lakers to win the NBA championship every year. And they haven't won it since he's been picking them.
They won it 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, but I ain't know you almost 2 years ago. I know you now. But,
Well, Ray, guess what? You want me to do another hot take? I got another hot take for you.
You always got hot takes on the thing. If it's dealing with Lakers, Alabama, the Rams now, you all got hot takes. I mean, your repertoire is just, You know, if they're winning championships, that's Freddie's team. I mean, Rams lose championships, Freddie's going to switch to another team that's got winning championships. That's just Freddie's MO.
Hey, Frankie, stay with me, Frankie. The Los Angeles Lakers will win the championship in
the champion
2022-2023 championship. Book it.
Book it. Get boom. Get your.
What are they going to win? They're going to win the 50 over? The 50 over league?
Hey,
they'd be the AARP champions of. I mean, if they went to your local Y and played in that 35 and older leagues, they would be just ringing dudes.
We better get the young guys.
They'll probably go to the emergency room more times this next season than they have NBA championships.
You know what we won't do? We won't lose a playoff game after winning 60-plus games like the Phoenix Suns. Boom!
I mean, you got to win 60-plus games before you qualify for that.
Oh, we're going to win 60-plus games.
If you got 10 wins for the number of Life Alert bracelets you had on your team, you're starting at 50.
Hey, I guarantee you, when the NBA starts back, Anthony Davis will be in the hospital once again. That's just his forte. I mean,
Jeremy, you're a Nuggets fan, right? You're a Nuggets fan, right? That's the ER Nuggets now too. Don't they got a bunch of injuries on the bench?
Oh yeah, I mean Jamal Murray, he'll be back for the playoffs. Never even put on a pair of shorts.
I tell you, how about Zion Williams? Is he going to do anything? I mean, he's been all this hype and no glory.
So Zion is actually from about 45 minutes from where I'm sitting right now. I watched him play in high school, and we know some of the same people. I'll put it that way. I don't know him personally. I've met him a couple times. The amount of people that have bailed water on Zion is dumbfounding to me. If Zion was made available by the New Orleans Pelicans right now, how many teams would be interested in him?
Probably all of them.
29. 29, and it would be a lot. Now, he's got a weird body. I mean, he is built strangely. So is Charles Barkley. And there's plenty of guys that have been built chunky.
I mean, they took Zion. They had to make him re-walk again when he came into the NBA. Yeah, they take him back up.
Look at that New Orleans team. If you were the savior of the franchise, would you look around New Orleans and go, yeah, I feel good about this? He literally got to training camp and looked like Will Smith in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where all the furniture's gone, just like, where'd everybody go?
Yeah, we made a nickname for the New Orleans Dukes, you know.
And he's got to look at Brandon Ingram and go, man, will you eat a cheeseburger? Like, please, you are 6'10" and weigh about $145.
Well, I mean, Ingram was like that in high school down in Kinston, North Carolina. I mean, he's a toothpick.
He is.
You know, yeah, he's not going.
I think he would. All right, Freddie does hot takes. I'll do a hot take. I, to this day, would still take Zion Williamson over John Morant, and I wouldn't think about it for even a tenth of a second.
Wow.
That is a hot take. That is definitely a hot take. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. I miss Bi. Bi, man, that dude's a dog. Hey, we seen him this year. I mean, that's Brandon Ingram. That KD 2.0, skinny, attack the basket, got the little mid range. You can't stop that mid range. And he's getting better. He's young. He's still young. But thank you to the Lakers. We know how to draft. That's one thing that we do. A standard NBA team knows how to do. We know how to draft young talent. Our scouting department is A1. That's what we do. But let's carry on. So let's talk. That's our last topic for the night. Bron, I'm going down your street. Should the Philadelphia 76ers pay James Harden? We seen what Patrick Beverly said. And credit. He was being a little biased because he said things about Chris Paul, but he was afraid to criticize his friend and James Harden. And like Mr. Jeremy can give us some advice, I'm pretty sure. When you get in this business, you can't be soft toned in certain conversation with regards to your friends. You got to keep it real at all times. But do you think it's you should guys to pay James Harden? You think it's time for him to find a new destination? Well, Ron is not there. Chris, I'll let you take a stab at this one.
I think they should let James Harden go. There's Ron. Yeah, I think they should let James Harden go. They brought Harden in, and he's not the same player that he was a few years ago back in Houston. He can't really get by anybody anymore. As he's gotten older, he's lost some of his athleticism, and that's what made him a great player. When he could get by people, do that step back, he's lost some of that. So I wouldn't pay him a whole lot of money. If I'm the Sixers, if I have to pay him a bunch, I'd go ahead and move on and try to bring somebody else in.
Ron, Mr. 76er.
You guys hear me? Am I coming through?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, a little technical difficulty. Really great lesson this year. Wake up every morning and make your bed. When it comes to life, that same bed that you make, you got to sleep in. And the Sixers, we made this bed, and it's the that we're stuck in. It's almost as bad as the Lakers situation, a little bit better. But we have Daryl Morey, we got James Harden. They come together. It's been written all in the lights. So of course we have to give James Harden his money. I don't even think we should make him do the 1 year. Just give him the 4-year max. We know these contracts in the NBA, as bad as they are, players are always movable. Give him the bread. Make him happy. Hopefully, he's in love with the butter, like you said, Jeremy. But hopefully, next season in shape. The 76ers have a lot of people thinking about trading options. We got Thibault, we got Harris, we got Maxey. I feel like Daryl Morey is going to happen. All those, let's send all those. Bradley Beal, James Harden, and Embiid. I'm a happy Sixers fan. So, as bad as the situation is, I feel like there is definitely an upside. And James Harden isn't the James Harden that he be. But James Harden as a third option, Embiid, and another guy. I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes off season and comes back even better next year. I think it's going to work out. A lot of this being moved this NBA season, so James Harden's on my team, guys. I don't know the excitement coming off my voice, but
Yeah, Ron didn't seem too happy about that. You said that's so sad. You didn't say it with your chest. Jeremy, should they pay him?
No shot. Unless it's short term. I mean, if you get it done for 2 years, then okay. You can't turn that contract into an albatross because that contract will be gigantic. And what I saw to him, he's just not that guy. He has aged poorly. Didn't take care of his body. It's very obvious that conditioning is not important to him. And I look at it now and go, you know what? If you tell me I have Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid, I'm okay with that. I don't think anybody would want James Harden. That's the problem, is because he's one of those players that the expectation is for him to be what he was 5 years ago, and he's never going to be. And front offices are going to look at a player like that and go, this sets an expectation for my team to be better than it's going to be. That's what gets you fired. So for me, I would let him walk.
I'm
not even upset about it because you took Ben Simmons off my hands, and he is soft as marshmallow fluff. So just the sheer fact you got him off the books, that's fine for me.
I'm only going to say this is a joke. But New Orleans taking James Harden?
No.
I'm kidding.
No shot.
I'm kidding. But on a serious note, yeah, I think they should just let him walk. I think to make honestly a good NFL comparison, It kind of reminds me of Ben Roethlisberger for the last 2 years of his career. After he had that injury where he was out for pretty much most of that entire season. Past 2 years, he just really didn't look like himself, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But going back to the NBA, I just don't really think that ever since he left the Rockets and got traded to the Brooklyn Nets, he just really didn't look like himself.
All right, Frankie.
Yeah, I would let him walk. But we know the 76ers won't do that. So if they could come to a deal short term, like Jeremy said, that will probably work out. What I do see is the 76ers just keeping him because James Harden is a regular season player, not a playoff player. So keep him for half, maybe until the trade deadline, and then I see them probably trading him somewhere, because that's what James Harden likes to do is go to another team after he doesn't feel that he fits with them. So I say, they keep him, trade him at the trade deadline, try and get somebody else. But I don't know what else the 76ers can do. Like, they're just like Ron, technical difficulties.
All right, Ray.
Where was the day? Today is June 1st. We got 28 days for the June 29th option deal that he can guarantee himself $47.4 million. He still got that 1 year option that he's got to opt into for his final year of his contract, and that's on June 29th. That's 28 days from today. Let's see what he does here. There's also been rumors that 76ers will do a sign and trade. Who's going to be who's going to be the trade bait for it? That's another option for it too. That's been floating around the internet also about James Harden. And like Jeremy said, James Harden don't keep himself in good shape. I mean, it's just there. He's injured prone too. I mean, he's just like Anthony Davis. I mean, he'll get injured and then come back a month later and then get injured again, or he quit. Sometimes some of these plays you look at him, he quit the team. I mean, he quit playing. I mean, James Harden, are you going to rely on him? That's going to be a good question for the 76ers. And that June 29th is a big loom because that's $47.4 million for the last year if he opts in.
Let me end the show before Anthony Davis' name get mentioned yet again on the show, because a lot of people like to slander his name. But when we win a championship, I want all of y'all to come on here and eat crow, because we are winning the championship, and me and Frankie going to celebrate.
Are you going to win that on the back of a unicorn or a liger, or what fictitious animal are you going to ride to that title?
They go to ride Anthony Davis while he's in the hospital.
It don't matter. We'll ride a camel. We'll ride a buffalo. It don't matter what we ride. Hey, we're going to get there, and we're going to say, yeah, this is what number 18 look like. But, hey, you guys, this is another episode of ASAP in the Morning. I want to thank Frankie, Ron, Chris, Ray, and Nate for coming on. I want to thank our special guest, Jeremy, for coming on. Like I said, we have a partnership with him. Just keep your eyes open. We've got a lot of things coming out. Jeremy, let everybody know where they can find you. Let them know everything that you do and all that good stuff.
TheSportsocracy.com is my website. NFLDraft.net, also my website. Fantasy. Let's see. I'm trying to think of all the things. I'm really bad at promoting things. Usually the other guy that does this with me does this. Our fantasy football toolkit will be out in 2 weeks, and all the NFL draft things. I've already done a mock draft for next year. It never stops. 12 months a year, NFL draft all day, every day.
There you go.
And you can find me on iHeartRadio. All you have to do is search my name. I'm the first big, goofy, mulleted, ginger bearded that pops up. It's a very identifiable face.
There you go. Well, I want to thank you for coming on. Hey, you guys, keep your eyes open today. Got a lot more shows coming on this evening. This is the ASAP Network. We're signing off. Until next time.
Peace.
Whole sports, all plays. Whole sports, all plays. Whole sports, all plays. 365, we making a place. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays like